Formatting with style. So here's a way that you can choose a font family. Multi-word fonts require quotes, as in the following example. I have used a p tag as a selector, and the property here is font-family, and I am applying Times New Roman font, which needs to be enclosed in quotations. Use the standard fonts. There are 10 of them, and although we haven't talked about them up to this point, I can tell you what a few of them are. Cursiva, Courier, Times New Roman, Arial, Verdana, just to name a few. Okay, when I say standard fonts, those are the standard fonts. There are 10 of them altogether that are common between Macintosh and Windows. And if you're going to use any type of special font outside of those, then you need to go with an image. You can specify alternate fonts. In this example, I've used the p tag as a selector, font-family as a property, and Arial, Verdana. What that means, it's called a font degradation path. In the case that the user does not have Arial on their system, maybe it's corrupt for some reason or it had been uninstalled or removed, the next font in line that the browser would try to render would be Verdana. Bold and italic fonts. Alright, so now we're to the point where we can style with bold and italics. And in this method 1, I'm using selectors such as the P selector. Could be an H1, could be a div, but in this example I'm using a P. I'm doing a font-style : italic. And then I'm doing a font-weight for bold. So the properties here that we're learning that are new are font-style and font-weight. Now method 2 to apply bold or italics would be as follows. And you could also apply a third one. Method 1 uses selectors, method 2 uses classes. You could also get at a particular ID, but I'm only showing you 2 methods here. So the second one is classes. I create a .env class. This could be a class with any name that you choose, but I just thought env would be easy for me to remember as a designer for emphasis. And I'm choosing a font-style italic, and then I create a .bolded class with a font-weight of bold. And when I go down to the HTML to apply these styles, in this particular example, it's not the only way to do it. I can put a class anywhere in any tag, but I am choosing to demonstrate using a span tag. So I set up a span tag, and I applied the class equals, and I put the class name in double quotes, emph, env. Notice that when you apply a class inside the HTML, you don't have to include the dot. That's been a question I've had in the past. You do not have to apply the dot. The second example is a span class equals bolded. I'm applying the bold class to the text in the second example. Font size. So there are several units of measure that you can use when you apply the font size property. So you can specify units or percentage. For example, 12 pixels or 110%. What does that mean? That would mean that the current size of your font is 100% of what it is, right? 110% would be a 10% increase in the current size. Use keywords such as small, medium, large, extra small, XX small, X large, and XX large, if you like. Usually I want something more concrete and less guesswork, so I will specify a pixel value or a percent value, or you could do it in ems. You need to look up ems, EM. It's a unit of measure equal to the line height of the current font. Alright, so let's look at method 1 for applying font size. Selectors. Here again we're using a p tag. And I choose the font-size property, and I specify 12 points. So now I know I'm getting 12-point font for all paragraphs. Method 2 uses classes. So again, I just put a dot in front of my class name, and the class name again is arbitrary. Body font size, it could be any name that you choose. Make up a name that makes sense to you and hopefully people that come behind you and have to modify your code. And I choose a font size 12 points, and when I want to apply it in the HTML code, I just apply the class body font size to whatever tag that I want to change. In this case, this class, since it's applied at the body tag, would change the font size for all font within the body tags inside of the document to 12 point. Indentations can be done. Here's my method 1 and 2 with selectors and classes again. The selectors method, I'm choosing to use a p tag again as a selector. Text-indent is the new property here, and I'm choosing 20 pixels. Guess what that does? It's kind of like hitting tab in Microsoft Word. Method 2 uses classes again. A class always starts with a dot and then is followed by a class name. Again, the class name is arbitrary, and I know I keep telling you that. I just want to reinforce that idea. You make up the class names. These are your own custom styles that you're creating. So .p indent, or paragraph indent, that's my short name here. I use the text indent property and I set it to 20 pixels. When I go to apply it, I just throw it into the p class, into the p tag as a class equals, in quotes, p indent. Aligning text. Alignment can be left, center, right, or justified. Method 1 with selectors. This is what's called a group selector, H1, H2, because it selects a group of tags. Each tag is separated in the group by a comma. That's why it's called a group selector. So H1, H2, the header 1 and header 2, text-align is the new property here. And you have several values: left, center, right, justify. And I chose center in this particular example. Method 2 uses classes. Again, a dot, and hCenter is the name that I arbitrarily chose for the name of my class. Text-align center. When I want to apply this class, I just find the tag that I want to apply it to, and I add the class attribute, class equals, quote, hCenter, close quote. Text decoration. When we talk about text decoration, this is the, under a hyperlink, the little underline. And we can remove that, like you see here in method 1. Method 1 with selectors, a::link, that's really a pseudo selector, okay, that gets at the link, the hyperlink, and the new property here is text-decoration. And I've set it to none, and that will just, in effect, remove the line from a hyperlink. Method 2 uses classes, and I've chosen dot and an arbitrary name called no_decor for no decoration. I set the text decoration property to none, and I create a second class here, .stricken. So if you want to do a strike through type of class, you can do that. Text decoration, line dash through. When I want to apply these classes to my HTML code, you can see that I just go inside of whatever tag I want to apply it to again, and I add the class attribute, class equals no decor or class equals stricken. Alright, and just remember, for text-decoration, the common values are blink, line through, overline, underline, and none. I like the line through because it looks like a strike through and it can indicate corrections on a page or things that need to be taken out or have changed. I like the underline to add underlines, and I like the none to remove underlines from hyperlinks.